Hello everyone, and I want to talk a little bit about a concept that's a little tricky when you first get started in computer science, especially using Java for the AP. There's just a little distinction that helps to make it clear is using system.out.print versus what now we're learning methods and using methods that return a value. So we're just going to look at a little simple problem here and kind of illustrate the point and the difference between using the two. So here's a main method, very simple, string name equals Alex. You can take an user from an input from a user. I'm just going to make it easy and say Alex. And then we're just going to print out hello plus name. And if I did it correctly, yeah, it just says hello Alex, right? And so now, but maybe we want to say hello to multiple people. So we're going to study how we can write different methods. So one way to write it is to do public static void print hello name, right? We're going to actually just print that little phrase, and we're going to take in some string name. We can call it, and then we could just do system dot out dot print ln hello plus name. I could have even just copied that because it's the same kind of thing that we want to do. And there you have it, right? It was just a very simple thing to do there, and we will, then we can, instead of having this line, if we want to do it for multiple people, right, all we have to do is call that method, so print hello name of Alex, or whoever, do multiple variables, do this multiple times. But again, that's the benefit right there of having a method, and then I can do print, oops, sorry, wrong place, print hello name of, Bob, and so on and so forth, and then that way, right, and get rid of that, and we see here that, yeah, that's exactly what we wanted, so there we wrote a little method. It takes in the string parameter, feeds it in there, and prints it out. Oh, all good and dandy. And for a lot of our first programs, we print a lot of things. It's like sending thing, when you're in kindergarten, you go print out your work on the computer, and it looks all cool, you get happy and excited about having that. But as we get more mature, a lot of our documents just stay digitally, and that's kind of what the analogy is going for here. So let's look at a method that actually returns the string. So now instead of it void, it's going to return a string, and I'm just going to say, I'm going to call it, you'll see why later, get hello name, okay? And it's going to do functionally very similar things, right? And then instead of system.out.print, though, I could bookend it, but I'm just going to return. This time I'm just going to copy for the sake of speed. I'm going to copy the inside of that method, and I'm going to build it, make sure it looks good. Now, here's the thing. Either I'll need some string to take it in, and I'll say get hello name of name, right? I'll see, but now I say, oh, this seems like more work. Why would we ever want to write methods like this? And did it work? Nope. Why? Because I didn't print out the saying, right? So system.out.print saying, right? So oh, okay. So yeah, it made a saying from that method, got the name, put it in saying, and then say. And again, obviously, we could actually even just a little trick. You can actually just call methods inside of things, and they act like variables in a certain respect. And there you go. And so I'm just printing out what that is, and kind of saves you a little step. It should work the same, and it did. Right? It's right there, and there you go. But again, why would we ever want to do this? It seems like more work. We'd have to, well, let's take a look. And the idea is that now we want to be able to toss these values around in different places. We don't want to always just print things out to the command line. We want to see if they really working. So for example, like let's say I don't want to print on a single line. I kind of want to, on different lines. I don't want to use println. Well, if I had this, and I'm going to write this hello name method, which I called get hello name a second ago, public static get hello name, right? I can then just kind of use it however I need to because it's just a string, right? Like I don't have to, maybe I don't want to print it in a certain way. I don't want to, so now, in fact, I'm just going to go back over there and get that method that I wrote. No, that was not what I wanted to do. Here we go. So I have this method, at least the guts of it, that I'm going to grab right here, and I can put it over here, right? And that way, and with movie magic, right, well, here's the that same method, right? And so all I would do is just get the name, and maybe if I want to modify, just have a little welcome in between, right? I just a little bit more effectively work with it as what it is, as a string, right? It's a string that I'm going to return and then can use, right? And so I can kind of modify it. It's a little bit more adaptive because I'm working in pieces as opposed to just always, and in this case, I am printing it out. But theoretically, we could work with a GUI, graphical user interface, that, the little text box and things like that. And there you have these same methods that you're using in very interesting ways and kind of just throwing the data all back and forth. Hopefully that kind of helped you, give you a little bit of insight. One last little thing. We obviously can still print out within our methods. We will sometimes do that to check, make sure it's working. This can really mess up your input though, so obviously, but it's something that we can do to kind of make sure things work. So you might see sometimes it returns a method or it returns something from the method, but you wanted to make sure it actually worked. So I'll do this in my code, and it's going to look a little crazy, but right, it called the method and it worked through it. Then so again, that's showing that the method's working. But anyway, hopefully this helped clear up the difference between string methods that return things like strings and void methods.